everybody, welcome back to my KX Corner. I am traveling this week for work, so we are on location. I have just a couple of things today. So I do have an update on my machine, on my long arm. I did get it back, yay! So I'm anxious to get it on the frame. I just had too much going on before leaving for this trip to get that done. So I'm excited to do that. They said that the hook was damaged, and they said that that's pretty common for a free motion, a machine that you do free motion quilting on. It's pretty common to damage the hook because you're moving that fabric around and causing that needle to maybe come out of alignment when it goes down into the machine. So apparently that's common. So it does make me think I need to go check my other machines and see if those hooks have been damaged or not. But I know what to look for now, so that's good. So I think I have decided I'm still thinking about it, but I'm pretty positive that I'm gonna take all the stitching out of the airplane quilt and start from scratch, because it'll be like a brand new machine, and I think it will just, I think I'm knowing me, I'm gonna regret it if I don't. So I am gonna work on that and get all of that stitching out of that quilt so that I can just start from scratch. So then last week I had mentioned, or at least my last video, I had mentioned that I was going to work on a hand stitch only quilt that I can take with me because I travel so much and sometimes I want to be able to quilt while I'm traveling. So I did decide on a pattern and I decided on fabric. So the pattern, Missouri Star actually featured this pattern a couple weeks ago. It's called Plaidish. I can't remember who it's by. It's not by Missouri Star. I'll post a picture of it here so you can see it. So it just kind of gave me some inspiration on doing a plaid quilt, and so I don't know that this is kind of what I'm going to do is kind of out of my head. I'm not actually going off of a pattern, but it was definitely inspired by the Plaidish pattern. So I will kind of show you those steps and things as I go along. And if you need a pattern to go by, because I tend to just kind of do everything on my own. That's the DIYer in me. I do recommend that you get the pattern. Again, it's Plaidish, and Missouri Star featured it just a couple weeks ago. So I don't know that what I'm doing is exactly like that pattern, but like I said, it's very much inspired by her pattern. So I'm going to work on that. I do have, so the fabric that I chose, I actually picked this fabric out for a project about 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And at the time I was reading a lot about how you're supposed to pre-wash your fabric before you quilt. And it's kind of a controversial thing, right? So everybody says, no, you absolutely don't. And then people say, no, you absolutely have to. So I thought, well, I'm going to try on that particular project that I had purchased this fabric for. I thought, well, I'll try and pre-wash the fabric. So I pre-washed the fabric and then decided to go with a completely different color scheme for that project. So I just had these yards of fabric laying around that I had pre-washed, and you don't want to mix and match. If you aren't aware, you don't want to mix and match your fabric, your pre-washed fabric with your non-washed fabric. It'll be like they say in the Bible, putting fresh wine into an old wineskin. You don't want your new fabric, when you do go wash your quilt, to pull apart your pre-washed fabric as the new fabric shrinks. And so again, you do you, right? Like I've always said, you do what you think is best, but I think it's I don't think it's controversial at all that you don't want to mix your washed and your pre-washed fabrics. The controversy is whether you should or shouldn't pre-wash your fabrics, right? So again, to each their own. I thought I would try it. Honestly, I probably will never do it again, just because some of the other fabrics that I found that matched these it was a charm pack. Well, I'm scared to wash a charm pack because I'm afraid that's just gonna fray like crazy and then ruin the charm pack. And so, so my recommendation is to not pre-wash your fabrics, but I know that there are many people who do that, and that's fine, and that works for them, and that's fantastic. I personally will not be pre-washing fabric again after this quilt. So, but I did purchase other fabrics to go with this that I have not pre-washed yet, and so I left those at home for the trip. So there was no sense in bringing them since I hadn't washed them yet. So I'm pretty positive with everything going on with work this week. I will not get to the point that I'm actually stitching blocks together on this trip, but I do want to start getting some of my pieces cut. So I'll probably start with my light colored fabric. If you're following that pattern at all, I'll get that cut up this week hopefully and go from there. So that's really all I had for now. I just had a couple of minutes before I needed to get down to the session for work, so I wanted to just check in with you guys, and then I'll video as I cut and work on it throughout the week, and then we'll go from there. So that's it for now. So just guess we'll just start cutting. Hi guys. Okay, so I'm super embarrassed that I have not even done any videoing of anything for almost a month now. So just an update on everything since that little snippet there at the beginning. I do have my long arm back on my frame, yay! I spent hours and hours taking out the stitches that I had previously, and so I am still learning. Like, I'm not super happy with the stitch, but it's getting done, and that's the important part, right? It's getting done and not just being folded up and put in a corner somewhere for years, right? So I'll get some more videos of that airplane quilt posted hopefully soon. I've got a couple, I think I've done 3 passes now with it, and so I'm kind of where I left off with the last video. So we'll get picked back up on that and hopefully get that airplane quilt done soon. Let's see, what else do I want to update you on? Oh, the travel quilt. So after the last video, where I really wanted to just dig in and start cutting, I realized that I needed to kind of get a game plan on how I wanted to cut all the pieces out, because I want to, I don't want any fabric to go to waste, and I want to be as frugal as I can, and I want to use every square inch that I possibly can. So when I kind of write up things like that, I draw a picture and a diagram. So like, I don't know if you can see this here. So you can see I start with the larger pieces, and I cut those, and then I work down to the smaller pieces. It just makes more sense that way, because then if I make a mistake on the larger pieces, I can always cut those up to make a smaller piece. So I spent several hours after that first snippet just getting all of those put together and get my game plan down on how I want to cut it. So then I did get a little bit of time then to start the cutting, but I didn't get very far. So I'm a little bit torn on if I should just go ahead and pre-cut everything here at home or continue to take it with me to cut when I'm traveling. So I'm not sure on that yet. We'll kind of see how it goes and how much time I have before our next trip. We have another trip planned in about 9 weeks. So we'll see on that. Let's see. I don't remember if I mentioned the Firework Finale quilt. That is a quilt along that Missouri Star is doing, and I've wanted to do it. I think I did mention that on a video two ago. I'm just having a hard time finding the fabric that I like for this quilt, so I finally just said, you know what, I just need to purchase something and get started on it, because month 3 was just released, and so month 1 was super easy. It was 1 block,
And then I'm hearing everybody talk about month 2, and it's called a pinwheel party, and there's just a ton of pinwheels, and people are posting how they've never done so many pinwheels in their life. And so I'm a little bit nervous about that, just because, like I said, I'm already behind. So I think I'll be able to get caught up fairly easily once things slow down here. Just it's been so busy, and then I was sick, and then holidays are started, right? So okay, then what else? The other thing that I'm doing is a quilt along with Stitch Obsessed, and it's called Mom's Cozy Christmas, and I'm going to be doing that. That started on Friday. So again, still finishing up getting the fabric for that. Hopefully I'll get that all picked up tomorrow after work and then get that started. And I'm doing a few different, I'm doing a couple alterations to it. So the pattern has like alternating blocks with like a gift box and stockings. And we don't really do stockings, and so I'm just going to do all gift boxes for the entire quilt. And so I will be altering it a little bit and adding some sashing. So I'm going to be working on that. And then Stitch Obsessed is also doing a Vlogmas, and she's doing a challenge of some free motion quilting every day. And so I would like to take on that challenge, and so it will be free motion quilting on my just regular machine, not my long arm. And so what I'm thinking about doing is I made a quilt. So when my grandson was born, my daughter, they didn't find out the gender, and so it was kind of the theme was what will baby be, B-E-E, and so it was all bees. And so I made a quilt out of hexagons, like a honeycomb, and I'll maybe pop a picture up here so you can see it. But it was such a fun quilt. I had a lot of fun doing that quilt. And so actually I had one extra hexagon left over that I've used for like testing like my stitches and stuff when I start something. So anyways, this is what they are. It's just a whole bunch of these that are all stitched together. And like I said, it was so much fun to make. And so I think what I'm going to do is make several of these, and then for every day of the quilt challenge, then I will have a different hexagon to do whatever free motion quilting design that she's doing for the day. Then I'll have a little hexagon of it, and then I can put those hexagons together. I'm thinking it'll probably make like a little centerpiece for the table or something. So, but these hexagons are super easy to make. So I have a pattern. This came from Missouri Star, and so you cut out a big one and a little one, and then you have the little one of your batting as well. And so you put them, you'll put them together like this, if you can see that, and then you kind of, this isn't exact obviously because I'm trying to do this in the air, but then you fold it, and then you fold it over and you stitch along the edge, and so it just makes this super cute hexagon. So I've got a whole bunch of like black, white, gray fabrics because my whole house is like black, white, gray. I don't have a lot of color, so I'm just going to grab some of these colors that I have and just do a bunch of these hexagons. And so that's what I'm going to do that free motion quilting on. I think it'll be super cute, and then when I'm done I can stitch them all together. So that is, like I said, that's a super fun project. So, and I was looking for a reason to do it again, so this is perfect. And then I also bought this, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, after I had done the hexagon quilt for my grandson, and I thought, gosh, this would have been super handy to use. This is just a rotating mat, so I'll be able to get some use out of this. This pattern was with those hexagons was so fun and easy, and it was something that I could take and go sit like in front of the TV. So like I did part of that quilt while my husband was watching a movie, and I sat next to him and worked on it. So it's a super portable design, so that was fun. So anyways, I'm going to be doing that as well. And then, let's see, is that it? I think that's it. I've got a lot that I'm trying to do here in a short amount of time, but it's all fun stuff. So I think I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, I'm super embarrassed that it's been nearly a month since I shot the first part of this video, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get this uploaded here in the next day or two, so you guys don't think that I'm, you know, off dead in a ditch somewhere, right? But anyway, so then I will start hopefully updating you more weekly with like this free motion challenge and the firework finale and the mom's cozy quilt or cozy Christmas quilt. So anyways, that's what's up with me. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and looking forward to some holiday fun. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the description box or the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to get notifications when I post more videos, and that would really help me out a lot. So yeah, alright, well, I hope you guys have a blessed week, and we will talk to you soon. Bye guys!